I want to explain a little bit about the Iron Shirt 2, Iron Shirt Qigong practice, which is really regrowing the tendons is another name for it. And the reason we want to emphasize the tendons in this practice are many. There are many reasons we want to do this. First of all, a lot of the strength is actually in the tendons. So, you know, if you think about a major league pitcher in baseball, all right, a lot of their strength is really whipping that ball around in the tendons. A lot of if we're lifting something heavy, all right, a lot of the strength there is in the integration of the tendons throughout the body, from the ground all the way up to the hands. The way we're moving as one unit determines the strength that we have there. So it's not just one muscle group, or even a major muscle group like our back. It's going to cause fatigue if we're just relying on our back. So you've heard, if you're going to lift something, lift with your legs. Well, that's because you've got the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, the bones, the skeletal structure is all integrated. And the tendons do a great job in helping keep things integrated there. Additionally, the tendons, they require less upkeep over time. So if you've ever done any bodybuilding or lifted a lot of weights, you have to eat a lot more. It takes a lot more calories to keep those muscles big. And it requires a lot more work. So if you've ever seen anyone that they're really into lifting weights and they look really big, and then you may see them 2 months later and say they got busy, they went back to school, they started a new job, they weren't able to hit the gym as much, those muscles get smaller pretty quick. But the tendons, on the other hand, they hold up over time a lot better. And one of the great things about that is that as we age, and if we've developed our tendons and we've focused a lot on growing these tendons and causing them to be elastic and loose, that will serve us in old age more than our muscles. All right, so our muscles will begin to atrophy over time, but our tendons, they don't atrophy near at the rate that our muscles would. And they're also easier to upkeep, as we mentioned earlier, not only for the caloric intake, the amount of food that we have to eat for the muscles, but also just the exercises. It doesn't take near the amount of exercise to keep these tendons strong as it does lifting weights in the different muscle groups. So I want to share just a few postures from this set of regrowing the tendons, and I'll show 3 of them here. There's officially there's 8, but then the loosening and the stretching of the tendons, there's maybe 100 of those. So we'll just do 3 of these specific tendon exercises right now, and you can see the speed and the elasticity that comes from doing these tendon exercises. So the first one's like the Embrace the Tree that we did in the Iron Shirt 1, which was in Iron Shirt 1, Embrace the Tree was like this. In the Iron Shirt 2, we're bringing the energy up from our feet, squeezing all the way up from the ankles, knees, up through here and out. So it's coming up from the earth and really whipping out. I kind of think of the tendon exercises like the end of a bullwhip. So if you've ever worked a bullwhip like the Indiana Jones movies, or if you've ever been at the roller rink, I don't know if anybody goes to those anymore, but the roller rink had, everybody could hold hands, and if you were at the end, you would like crack the whip and it would make you go faster than anybody. A merry-go-round, if you're out at the end, it's the fastest part of the merry-go-round. So by the time the energy in these exercises comes all the way up and out, your tendons are really being stretched to the max here in the hands, the outer line of the tendons coming all the way up from the earth and out. And the second one that I want to show you is like a hands in the form of a rooftop. And so again, we're coming up and out, and that stretches the outer line or the pinky line all the way down to the feet. So we come up and out. Like that. And then the last one, the third one I'll show you here, again starts like the other 2, coming up, and you're stretching out with the thumb line. So we've done the outer edge, we've done this edge, now we're doing the thumb line. So as we come up, we're working the tendons this way. And they can be done slowly. I mean, I'm sort of whipping it in some cases, but also it can be done slowly and gently. just like this. And I recommend that when we're starting. Slowly and gently. And then building up to the speed like that. And obviously there's martial applications to this, not only the tendon health that I mentioned at the beginning, but the martial applications. Bruce Lee was famous for the 1-inch punch. If you're on YouTube, check out 1-inch punch by Bruce Lee. He was able to put so much energy and inertia from here to here, just a short amount of time, from using that tendon strength. And he was really a small framed man. He was very strong, but a lot of his strength was based on the tendon strength that he had, and his ability to unite his whole body into one fluid motion and objective. So the last part of the Iron Shirt 2 practice I want to mention is using this utensil. And so this is a simple sock, gym sock, that I filled up with black beans, dry black beans from the store. Costs about $1 plus the price of the socks. The socks didn't fit me anymore, so that was no big deal. I put the beans inside one sock. I put that inside a second sock and then tied a knot at the top. And this actually is a practice for detoxifying the tendons. All right, it brings the heat out of the tendons. I had a foot injury from overworking them about a year ago, and this is something that could really help with that. I was hitting the foot, and it helped loosen up and break up the stuck chi in that tendon. But what you do with this is you go down all 4 sides of your arm, then you do the other arm, then you do 4 sides, inner, outer, front, and back of the legs. You do your rear end and your sacrum. You could do the body, hitting the organs, detoxifying them, because the tendons go from top to bottom, as we said. Do the back, and you can even lightly do the head. All right, but it's a very good practice and part of the Iron Shirt 2 that I find really helpful. Really helps me detox, gets the heat out, any trapped gases or winds, the evil winds the Chinese call it, or sediment that settle through gravity. I can shake those up through hitting this, and it actually allows the body to process it in combination with these exercises and Tai Chi and Qigong practices. We break up the sediments and the energy, then we move them around through our body. So thanks for listening to the Iron Shirt 2 practice. There's a lot more to it, but in a short video I hope you gave you some ideas on if this is something you'd want to study more. Thank you.